The station floated silently in space. Its metal hull was scratched, dented, and worn from years of battles and neglect. Lights flickered inside the corridors, and the hum of the engines was weak. Captain Lauren stood on the main bridge, staring at the view screen that showed a nearby planet. He rubbed his claws across the rail and sighed. The station needed repairs, but the engineers were struggling. The tools were old, and the parts were missing. If help did not arrive soon, the station could fail completely. "We can't keep this up much longer," said Sarah, Loran's first officer. Her voice was calm, but worry showed in her eyes. She looked around the bridge at the other crew members, all trying to fix systems that kept breaking. "The engines are failing more often. Shields won't hold for a long fight, and the hull is weakening." Loran nodded. He knew she was right. The station was old, built decades ago by alien engineers, long gone. The fleet they depended on was scattered and outdated. Enemies in this sector were growing bolder. Every day they watched from a distance, testing weaknesses, waiting for the station to collapse. "We have one choice left," Lauren said slowly. The crew looked at him, waiting. He continued, "We send a request to Earth." There was a pause. Some officers exchanged glances. Sending a request to humans was risky. Humans were far away, across many star systems, and their reputation was unusual. They did not follow normal rules. They often did things differently than any alien expected. Some saw them as reckless. Some saw them as clever. Most simply did not trust them. "Earth?" said Sarah, raising an eyebrow. "Are you serious? They are so far away, and we only ask for repairs. They might refuse, or take months to respond." "I know," Lauren said. He turned to the star map on the screen. The dots showed alien fleets nearby, some known enemies. "We do not have months. We do not have even a week. But they are the only ones who can help us properly. Our engineers cannot manage this alone. The parts we need, the systems we need, fixed, they can do it." Sarah frowned but nodded. She trusted Lauren, even if the decision was unusual. Lauren pressed a few buttons, opening a secure communication channel to Earth. The message typed itself out automatically on a human interface. Humans read differently than aliens. They liked details, pictures, and clear instructions. Jack Miller, the human engineer in charge of the repair team, was the first to read the message. He sat in a small command room on Earth, sipping coffee. He looked at the holographic display showing the alien station. The station seemed fragile, old, and clearly in trouble. His eyes widened. "This is interesting," he said. Amy Brooks, his assistant and logistics officer, leaned over his shoulder. "Interesting?" she asked. "Jack, it looks like they are barely holding together. If they fail, it could start a war." "Exactly," he said. "But look at the request. They just want fixes, spare parts, and maybe some guidance. They do not even ask for weapons. They want help, not interference. Humans never just do what's asked. We can fix, yes, but we can also improve. And if they let us, this station will become much stronger than before." Amy smiled. "So, we are going to be heroes again?" "Maybe," Jack said, taking another sip of coffee. "Or maybe we just make things worse. You know how that goes." Within hours, the human team was ready. They gathered tools, spare parts, and technical manuals. They packed what seemed normal. But Jack secretly added upgrades. New power cores, modular armor plating, and extra sensors. Humans like to prepare for surprises. They never went unprepared. Days later, the human fleet jumped into the alien system. It was faster than expected, Appearing in the station's orbit almost immediately, the alien crew was shocked. They had assumed months would pass before help arrived. Captain Loren could hardly believe his eyes. "They came quickly," he said quietly. "Much faster than we expected." "That is Earth for you," Sarah said. She watched the small human ships float gracefully toward the station. They were simple in design, not aggressive. They looked like a repair team, not a war fleet. The humans docked their ships and entered the station. The corridors were narrow for humans, but they adapted quickly. Jack walked through the hallways, greeting alien engineers politely. Amy followed, carrying supplies, showing them where to store equipment. She even offered cups of something called coffee, which the aliens tasted with curiosity. The bitter drink made some of them frown, but others smiled. "It gave energy," Jack explained. "You will need this," Jack said, handing a cup to Loren. The captain took it cautiously. He had never tasted coffee before. The warm, strong flavor surprised him. It was bitter, yes, but it made him feel alert. He nodded. "This is different, but I like it." Humans immediately began their work. They did not just repair, they improved. Broken engines were replaced with stronger versions. Damaged hull sections were patched and reinforced with new alloy humans had brought. Shields were recalibrated and upgraded. Every system received careful attention. Alien engineers watched in amazement. "Why are they making it stronger?" one young engineer whispered to another. "We only asked for repairs. Why not just fix the old parts?" "Humans do not do things the old way," the other replied. "They always look forward. If it can be stronger, faster, or better, they do it." Jack moved from room to room, checking each repair bay. Luke Carter, another human engineer, joined him. "How are the shields coming?" Jack asked. "Almost done," Luke said. "We are increasing power output and adding new defensive layers. This station will survive attacks it couldn't before." "Good," Jack said. He smiled. "That is exactly what we want." Amy coordinated storage of spare parts and food. She shared meals with the aliens, explaining simple recipes. Laughter filled the corridors, something the station had not heard in months. Humans worked calmly, even when alarms rang for minor malfunctions. Their calmness spread to the alien crew. Fear of the failing station began to fade. Weeks passed. The station transformed. Corridors were brighter. Engines hummed steadily. Shields glowed stronger. Alien engineers began to understand human methods. They learned that humans always think ahead. One mistake could be avoided by planning, and humans planned carefully, even for surprises. Loren walked with Sarah through the main engine room. He could not hide his surprise. "I do not understand," he said. "We only asked for fixes. Why do they improve everything?" Sarah shrugged. "Maybe humans believe that fixing is not enough. Maybe they think, if we are weak, we will fail. They do not just repair. They empower." Loren nodded slowly. He felt hope for the first time in months. The station, once fragile, now seemed alive. He could feel energy flowing through its systems. Humans had done more than he expected. He realized that Earth's help was not simple assistance. It was a gift of strength. But even as hope grew, distant sensors picked up movements. Enemy ships appeared near the edge of the system, observing silently. The aliens had noticed them before, but now, the humans were here. Would the enemy attack now, knowing the station was getting stronger? The question hung in the air. Jack and Amy were unaware of the Watchers. They focused on finishing the last upgrades. New weapon systems were installed quietly, sensors tested, and emergency protocols reviewed. Humans always prepared for any situation. One evening, Lauren watched Jack and Amy in the control room. He realized something important. Humans were different from any ally he had ever known. They did not just repair. They taught, they improved, and they inspired. Their presence alone changed the station. "Perhaps we asked for more than we knew," Sarah said softly, standing beside him. "We wanted fixes. We received more. Strength, hope, and something new." Lauren nodded. He looked at the stars beyond the station. The enemy ships remained distant, but now he felt ready. With humans here, the station was no longer just a fragile relic. It had become a stronghold, alive with new energy and new possibilities. The story of repair had only begun. Humans would continue to work, to upgrade, and to teach. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the enemy watched, unaware that their plans would soon fail. The simple request for fixes had already changed everything. And so, the first part ended with hope, with strength, and with the quiet knowledge that Earth's arrival meant something greater than anyone expected. The humans worked faster than the alien crew expected. Jack Miller moved from the engine room to the shield control room, carrying a small device that blinked softly. "This will help the shield hold more energy," he explained. Alien engineers gathered around, watching him carefully. No one spoke at first. They had never seen shields handled this way. Every adjustment humans made seemed unusual, but it worked perfectly. Amy Brooks followed with supplies. She handed out cups of coffee to the aliens. The drink was strange and bitter, but most tried it politely. A few made faces, but some smiled. The humans explained that coffee helped them stay awake and alert during long work hours. Alien crew members found themselves drinking it regularly, though they did not fully understand why. "You feel warmer inside," said one young engineer, called Rennick, "and awake. Stronger." Jack laughed. "Not stronger physically, but your mind works better. Humans call it alert." The aliens tried to mimic the humans' calm work. They noticed humans never panicked when alarms rang. When a small fire broke out in one of the storage bays, Jack and Luke Carter, another human engineer, handled it with careful steps, moving around the flames without rushing. The aliens were amazed. The humans seemed almost fearless, yet careful. As days passed, the station became more than repaired. Old weapons were replaced with faster, more accurate cannons. Sensors were upgraded to detect objects far beyond what alien technology had allowed. Engines hummed more steadily, consuming less energy but giving more speed. Every room the humans touched changed for the better. "They make it stronger than new," muttered Rennick to another engineer, his eyes wide. "Why? We only asked for repairs." "Humans never do only what is asked," the other engineer replied. "They always add more." Jack worked on the main engine. He adjusted energy flow in a way that alien engineers had considered dangerous. The engines glowed brighter than before, almost like a heartbeat. Luke helped, rerouting power carefully to prevent overload. "These engines can run longer and faster than ever," Luke said. Amy walked through the corridors, checking that food, tools, and spare parts were properly stored. She shared meals with the aliens, explaining simple recipes from Earth. Laughter echoed through the halls. The station had been quiet for months, but now life filled it again. Even Captain Lauren smiled at the unusual sounds. "Humans bring more than repairs," Lauren said to Sarah. "They bring life, energy, confidence." Sarah nodded. "And discipline. They work calmly, even when systems fail. They do not panic. Maybe that is why the station feels stronger already." Outside, sensors detected strange movements. Small enemy fleets lingered at the edge of the system. They watched silently, curious about the humans' sudden arrival. The aliens knew they were being observed, but the humans seemed unaware or unconcerned. They continued upgrading systems, laughing, and talking as if nothing dangerous existed. Jack finished his work on the engines and moved to the shield array. He attached a new module he had brought secretly, one that could absorb more energy than the aliens thought possible. Luke helped him secure it. The shields now glowed a deep blue, stronger than any human had tested before leaving Earth. "It is ready," Jack said. "This station can survive attacks that would have destroyed it before." Lauren stepped in, looking at the glowing shields. "This is more than we hoped. More than we expected. We never just fix," Jack said simply. "We improve. Always." Sarah watched the humans carefully. Their confidence was strange but effective. She had never seen aliens or humans work like this. It was almost like magic, but it was only careful planning, skill, and teamwork. As upgrades continued, the humans introduced other things. Small recreational areas appeared, places to rest between shifts. Humans shared stories of Earth, of cities, and stars they had seen. Aliens listened. Fascinated, the crew began to feel like a family, not just a station under repair. "They are teaching us more than repairs," Rennick said quietly. "They show how to live and work together." "Yes," his friend replied, "and how to face danger without fear." One evening, as the human crew prepared dinner in the communal area, alarms rang. Small enemy scout ships had approached closer than before. Alien engineers froze, unsure what to do. Jack calmly checked the sensors. "Do not worry," he said. "We are ready for them. Shields are strong, weapons are ready, and the station can handle more than you think." The aliens watched as humans adjusted systems with calm efficiency. They had no fear, only focus. When the scouts fired, the new shields absorbed the blasts easily. The upgraded weapons tracked the enemy automatically, warning the humans only when action was needed. The scouts quickly retreated, confused by the station's unexpected strength. "Did you see that?" Lauren asked Sarah. "They did not panic. And the scouts could not harm us." "This is the humans' way," she said. "Calm, precise, ready for anything. We are learning from them." After the attack, Jack gathered the human team. "We need to continue upgrades," he said. "The enemy will return. We have to be stronger when they do." "We thought this was just repairs," Luke said. "But it is more. We are building a station that can survive war." "Exactly," Jack said. "Humans never stop at repairs. We make things better, always." Amy walked among alien engineers, showing them new maintenance techniques. She explained, simple adjustments that could improve performance and prevent accidents. Aliens watched, eager to learn. They asked questions constantly. Humans answered patiently, never rushing. Even Captain Lauren asked for advice. "Humans think differently," he said to Sarah. "They do not just follow old rules. They create new ways. Maybe that is why they are strong. They are patient and careful." Sarah replied, "And they do not panic. It changes everything here." As the days passed, the station transformed completely. Corridors were brighter. Engines purred with strength. Shields glowed constantly. And weapon systems were precise. The station's crew, both human and alien, worked together efficiently. Aliens had learned new skills, humans had learned about alien technology, and hope filled the station. One morning, as humans and aliens shared breakfast, a small human ship approached the station. It carried more supplies and another technician named Nina Reed. She joined Jack, Luke, and Amy, bringing extra modules and parts for the engines and weapons. The humans explained everything simply, teaching the aliens as they worked. "We came prepared for upgrades," Nina said with a smile. Fixing alone is never enough. If you are vulnerable, you risk everything. We make things strong, so you survive. The aliens nodded, understanding finally what humans meant. The request for repairs had been only the beginning. Humans came with strength, knowledge, and calm confidence. They did not just repair, they improved, taught, and prepared the station for anything. In the control room, Captain Lauren watched the humans work. He realized that this simple request for help had changed the station completely. It was no longer just a fragile relic. It was alive, strong, and ready. The aliens now had confidence, not fear. They had learned to trust humans. "We asked for fixes," Laurent said to Sarah quietly. "We got strength, knowledge, and hope. Earth gave more than we expected. They did not just repair. They prepared us for what is coming." Sarah smiled. "And the enemy is watching. Soon they will see that our station is not weak. They will see what humans bring." Jack and Amy continued their work without worry. Humans never rushed. They never panicked. They worked carefully, improving systems, teaching skills, and sharing life with the alien crew. The station glowed with new energy, and the crew felt alive for the first time in years. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the enemy fleet observed quietly. They did not understand what they saw. The station they expected to be weak was now strong. Humans were not just helpers, they were a force of change, bringing more than anyone had asked. The story of human upgrades continued. Repairs were complete, but humans did not stop. The station now had strength, skill, and calm determination. Aliens learned patience, planning, and confidence. Humans had changed everything. The first request for help had become a story of power, friendship, and preparation. The second part ended with the station stronger than ever. Humans teaching, aliens learning, and the quiet knowledge that the enemy would soon find out that Earth's help meant more than repairs. The station hummed with energy. Lights glowed in every corridor. Engines purred steadily. Shields flashed faint blue, stronger than ever. Human engineers walked calmly through the halls, checking systems. Aliens followed them, trying to understand every detail. The station was no longer just repaired. It was alive, prepared, and ready. Captain Lauren looked at the view screen. Enemy ships were approaching faster than before. Scouts had returned, reporting their findings to a larger fleet. Their formation was tight, organized, and dangerous. The aliens had expected an attack, but nothing prepared them for what came next. "They are coming," Sarah said quietly. "The fleet is larger than the scouts. They will attack now." "Let them come," Lauren said, his voice calm. He turned to the human engineers. "Jack, Amy, Luke, are we ready?" Jack nodded. "Everything is prepared. Shields are strong, weapons are online, and the station can take much more than they plan." Amy added, "I've checked all supplies and crew readiness. Humans and aliens are ready." The enemy fleet fired the first shots. Bright beams of energy struck the station's hull. Alarms rang. Lights flashed, and the hull shuddered under the impact. Alien engineers froze for a moment. They expected destruction. But nothing happened. The shields held. They absorbed the beams, glowing brighter than before. "See?" Jack said calmly. "We planned for this. We are stronger than you think." Luke worked at the weapons console. New human-installed cannons activated automatically. Energy beams shot toward the enemy ships, hitting them with precision. The aliens watched in awe as enemy fighters were destroyed before reaching the station. The humans had upgraded targeting systems that no alien engineer had imagined. "How is this possible?" one alien engineer whispered. "Our old systems could not do this." "Humans always find a way," another replied. "They improve. even when impossible. Amy coordinated the crew. She directed aliens to check supplies, reroute energy, and maintain weapons. Everyone worked together smoothly. The humans never panicked. They moved calmly, carefully, always checking systems and improving efficiency. The enemy fleet was surprised. They had expected an easy victory. This station was supposed to be weak, damaged, and ready to surrender. Instead, shields held stronger than expected. Weapons fired with deadly accuracy, and the station moved with efficiency they did not anticipate. "We need to retreat." A voice crackled over the enemy comms. The attackers had not prepared for this. Their fleet was strong, but they were unprepared for a station upgraded by humans. Jack adjusted the engines. He rerouted power to increase shield strength and weapon output simultaneously. Luke monitored energy flow, making sure nothing overloaded. The station glowed like a living machine. Every system worked in harmony. Captain Lauren watched in disbelief. He had never seen anything like this. The humans were calm, precise, and ready. Their confidence had spread to his crew. Even alien engineers worked without fear, following the humans' instructions. "They are different," Lauren said to Sarah. "Humans do not panic. They do not hesitate. They make decisions calmly and act immediately. This is why the station survived." Sarah nodded. "And they teach as they work. Everyone here knows what to do. Humans do not just fix things, they prepare everyone." The enemy tried again, firing larger weapons. The station shook under the impact, but shields held. The upgraded engines allowed the station to move slightly, dodging shots more efficiently than any alien station could. Human targeting systems destroyed enemy ships, one by one. Each beam was precise, hitting critical points exactly. Rennick, the young alien engineer, watched wide-eyed. "They said humans just repair. They said fixes only. But look, they made us strong," he whispered to his friend. "They make everything better," the friend replied. "We can survive attacks now." Jack and Luke moved through the control room. They adjusted power to shields, fine-tuned weapons, and monitored enemy movement. Every action was calm, careful, and effective. Amy directed the crew to repair minor hull damage immediately. Small teams of aliens worked alongside humans, learning how to respond quickly, without fear. "Humans think ahead," Jack said quietly to Luke. "Every attack, every failure, is planned for. That is why we are always ready." Luke nodded. "And the aliens are learning fast. Soon, they will not need our guidance." The battle continued, but the enemy fleet was in shock. Their attacks caused little damage, and every strike was met with an equal or stronger response. They had expected a weak, helpless station. They found a fortress, strong, smart, and defended by humans and aliens working together. Captain Lauren realized something important. Humans did not just repair systems. They created confidence, unity, and skill. The station itself had become a symbol of strength, not just a base. The crew believed in themselves because the humans had shown how to work calmly under pressure. "They are teaching us how to survive," Lauren said. "And not just survive. We can fight back," Sarah added. "And they do it without fear. They inspire us to believe we can win." The enemy fleet retreated. Their ships moved back, confused and afraid. They had expected easy victory, but had found resistance stronger than anything they imagined. The humans had turned a failing station into a battle-ready fortress. After the battle, the station's crew gathered in the control room. Humans and aliens worked together to check systems, repair minor damage, and restore energy flow. Laughter returned to the corridors. Humans shared coffee with aliens, calming nerves and celebrating small victories. "This is more than we expected," Rennick said. "Humans do not just fix things. They make us stronger, faster, smarter. And they teach," his friend added. "They show how to work together, how to stay calm, how to plan ahead. We learned more in days than years of training before." Jack and Amy moved through the control room, checking each system. "We always plan for the worst," Jack said. "That is why nothing can surprise us. Humans never leave a weakness unprotected." Luke added, "And we upgrade everything we touch. Weakness disappears. Strength grows." Captain Lauren looked around. He realized the station had changed forever. Humans had not only repaired and upgraded systems, they had built trust, confidence, and courage. The alien crew believed in themselves for the first time in years. Earth did not just send engineers, Lauren said to Sarah. They sent hope, and strength, and knowledge. The station is no longer weak. We are no longer afraid. Sarah nodded. And the enemy saw it. They learned what humans bring: power and confidence. We are not alone anymore. The humans continued their work calmly. Small improvements were made even after the battle. Weapons were checked, shields tested, engines fine-tuned. The aliens watched carefully, learning every step. Humans worked efficiently, without hurry or panic. "We are ready for anything now," Jack said quietly. "The station can survive much more, and the crew can handle anything." Rennick smiled. The story of the station had changed. Humans had arrived to repair. Instead, they built strength, unity, and skill. The enemy learned quickly that underestimating humans was a mistake. The aliens learned that working with humans meant more than repairs. It meant survival and growth. Captain Lauren looked at the stars. He knew the enemy fleet would return, but he no longer feared. Humans had taught them how to be ready. The station glowed with power and life. Shields flashed, engines hummed, weapons stood ready. And somewhere in space, the enemy fleet watched silently, realizing that the station they expected to destroy was now a fortress. Humans had come, and everything had changed. The third part ended with victory, confidence, and the quiet knowledge that the humans' upgrades and calm planning had transformed a fragile station into a stronghold. The alien crew now understood what it meant to have humans as allies. The next challenges would come. But the station was ready. The station was quiet after the battle. But the crew knew that more challenges were coming. Humans had finished most of the upgrades. But Jack Miller, Amy Brooks, and Luke Carter continued working calmly. Alien engineers moved through the corridors, checking systems and learning as they went. The station had become a place of energy, knowledge, and confidence. Captain Lauren stood on the bridge with Sarah, looking at the stars. Distant points of light moved faster than before. Long-range sensors detected new ships entering the system. The humans on board glanced at the readings, but their expressions did not change. "What is that?" Lauren asked quietly. Amy looked at him and smiled. "Human reinforcements," she said. "Earth always sends more than just engineers. If it is needed." Lauren raised an eyebrow. "Reinforcements? I thought this was a repair mission." "Humans never leave allies unprotected," Jack said. He tapped a console, and the view screen expanded to show multiple large human ships moving toward the station. Their design was advanced, fast, and heavily armed. They glowed with quiet strength in the dark of space. "That is impressive," Sarah said. She watched the human fleet approach. "We only asked for fixes, and they bring this?" "Earth does not do simple fixes," Amy said. "They bring protection, and strength, and solutions for anything that might happen." The alien crew watched in awe as the human war fleet formed a defensive perimeter around the station. Each ship was ready for battle, yet moved with calm precision. The humans on the station smiled as if nothing was wrong, checking systems and giving instructions. Jack turned to Lauren. "They are here to ensure the station stays safe. We did not ask for them, but Earth knows that repairs alone are never enough. If the enemy returns, these ships will defend everything we built here." Lauren could not hide his surprise. The humans had transformed a fragile station into a fortress, and now a powerful fleet stood ready to protect it. The aliens began to understand what humans truly meant by helping. It was never just fixing broken machines. It was about survival, strength, and preparation. As the human fleet settled into position, a comm signal arrived from the lead ship. The voice was calm, firm, and confident. "Captain Lauren, this is Human Captain Sean Parker. We are here to assist. The station is secure. Repairs are complete. Weapons and shields are upgraded. We will stay until your crew is ready to defend itself fully." Lauren looked at Sarah. "They are not just here to help. They are here to protect us. All of us." "That is humans," Amy said. "They never leave allies alone." The alien crew walked through the station, looking at all the upgrades. Old engines glowed brightly. Shields flashed in constant pulses. Weapon systems were precise and ready. Even living areas had been improved for comfort and efficiency. Humans had done more than repair. They had transformed the station completely. "We asked for fixes," Rennick said quietly to his friend, "and they gave us power and safety." "We have learned more than we expected," the friend replied. "Humans teach as they work. We are stronger now. We can survive what comes next." On. Captain Lauren called a meeting of the station's senior officers. Humans and aliens stood together. Jack, Amy, and Luke explained the upgrades and systems, showing the aliens how to operate everything. Even small details, like emergency procedures, were taught simply and clearly. "We are ready for anything now," Lauren said. "Humans have changed everything. We are no longer weak. We are no longer afraid." Sarah added, "And the enemy knows it. They watched us before. Now, they will see that we are strong, and we have humans with us." Outside, the enemy fleet approached cautiously. They had sent scouts before, but now, the numbers were larger. They saw the station's shields, the hum of the upgraded engines, and the human war fleet waiting quietly. Their confidence faltered. They had expected a weak target. They found strength, unity, and readiness. Jack and Luke monitored the systems. "They will hesitate," Jack said. "Humans always make sure the enemy sees the real strength before they act." Amy nodded. "The station and fleet together are more than they imagined. We prepared for every possibility. 1C. The enemy commander called his officers. "We underestimated them. The station is stronger. The humans, they brought more than expected. We must retreat and rethink our attack." And so, slowly, the enemy fleet withdrew. The humans on the station and in the fleet did not fire. They did not need to. Their strength, calm, and readiness were enough. The aliens watched in awe as the enemy vanished into the dark of space. Captain Lauren turned to Jack and Amy. "I do not understand fully," he said. "We asked for fixes. You gave us more than strength. You gave confidence, knowledge, and preparation. You taught us to survive." Jack smiled simply. "We always do more than repairs. Humans never leave allies unprepared. We prepare you for what is coming. We strengthen you so you can stand, fight, and survive." Amy added, "And we teach as we go. We show how to work together, stay calm, and plan ahead. That is why you are ready now. The station can defend itself, and so can your crew. Sarah nodded. We have learned more than we expected. Humans are not just engineers. They are teachers, protectors, and allies. They bring more than repairs. They bring survival. The station's crew worked together in quiet celebration. Humans shared coffee and meals, laughter echoing through the halls. Aliens felt pride, strength, and confidence for the first time in years. The station was no longer fragile. It was alive, powerful, and defended. Captain Lauren addressed the crew. Earth has given us more than fixes. Humans showed us how to be strong, how to survive, and how to stand together. From now on, we are no longer alone. Humanity is with us. The human war fleet remained in orbit, quiet and ready. The aliens watched, realizing that humans were not just helpers. They were a force of change, strength, and protection. The arrival of humans had transformed a failing station into a symbol of hope and power. Rennick walked through the halls, looking at the engineers. We asked for fixes, he said softly. We got upgrades, training, and allies. We got humans. And humans bring more than you expect, his friend replied. They bring safety, courage, and hope. We will never be unprepared again. The humans continued to check systems, teaching and guiding the aliens. Small improvements were made even after the battle. The station's engines were fine-tuned, shields reinforced, and weapons systems tested. The humans worked calmly, patiently, and efficiently, showing the aliens how to maintain everything. Jack smiled at Lauren. You are ready. Your crew is ready. Your station is ready. Earth did what we always do. We do not just repair. We make strong. We make ready. And we protect. Laura nodded, understanding fully now. We asked for help. We received strength beyond imagination. We received knowledge, protection, and confidence. Humans have changed everything. Sarah added. And the enemy knows it. We are no longer an easy target. We are ready. And we have allies who never leave us alone. The story of the station had reached its new beginning. Humans had arrived to repair, but they brought much more. They transformed the station, trained the crew, and brought a war fleet for protection. Aliens learned patience, confidence, and planning. The enemy learned that underestimating humans was dangerous. Captain Lauren looked at the stars. The station glowed, strong and alive. Shields flashed, engines hummed. Weapons stood ready. Humans had arrived, and everything had changed. The aliens understood now that asking for help from Earth meant strength, safety, and hope. And so, the station prepared for the future. Humans taught, protected, and strengthened. The alien crew worked with confidence. The enemy fleet would return one day, but the station was no longer weak. It had become a symbol of power, unity, and survival. The final words of Part 4 were simple but powerful. Humans had come to repair, but they left strength, knowledge, and protection. Aliens had learned that Earth's help was never just repair. It was hope, safety, and a promise that they would never stand alone again.